requested to put two more propositions to you on the matter of the young man KwaZindlovu. The first one is whether you admit that KwaZindlovu was not a wanted suspect.
All I can say is the evidence certainly seems to indicate that he was not a wanted suspect.
Yes. The second one is that the evidence is also clear that this was simply a case of mistaken identity. They got to the wrong house and they shot the wrong person.
It seems to appear from the evidence that that is possible.
Thank you. Could we move on then to the next topic? We spoke at length, well, you spoke at length about, I think his title is Colonel Ari Danikas, who was a police reservist. You remember that?
We spoke about his statement being unsigned.
Yes, I know we did, but I want to confirm if that is consistent with your recollection.
Yes, we did. I did speak about him.
Now, he was assigned to the K2 unit, working directly under Major General Boysen between the years 2000 until he fled the country in 2008, correct?
I think that is correct. I don't have his statement in front of me, but it seems to resonate.
Yes. Well, we can go through it. Now, according to him, he left this country because he was terrified that he would be killed by the members of the K2 team, correct?
I can't recall that.
Yes, all right. But you can't say yes or no.
I can't say yes or no.
Yes, thank you very much. Could I ask you to go to file 2 at page 515?
Page
515, file 2, Madam Chair. Now, that is an email written for your personal attention, addressed to Ms. B. Makeke by Colonel Danikas, correct?
That is correct.
Who is Ms. Makeke?
She is the head of communications in the NPA.
Yes. Did she bring this letter to your attention?
I don't recall seeing this letter.
But if a letter is addressed for your attention,
I see that.
would there be any reason why the head of communications?
Just wait for counsel to finish. You just interrupted and said, I see that when he is talking. And wait for him to ask you a question and answer.
Noted, Chairperson.
Just do that, please.
I thought he was finished. I know. I take note.
Advocate Batohi, please.
Sure, I will do that.
Thank you. If a letter is addressed for your attention, is there any reason why Ms. Makeke wouldn't take it to you?
It should come to me.
So we can assume that it did go to you.
No, we can't assume that.
Well, that's why I've just asked you. A letter is addressed on the 7th of August, 2019 to Ms. Makeke for your attention. Is there any reason why she would not bring it to your attention? You said it should come to you.
That's right.
So what are you saying now when I say to you, we can assume that it did come to your
No,
attention?
we need to check why it did not, because I certainly can't recall having received this email.
Well, is Ms. Makeka still employed by the NPA?
Yes,
So it should not be difficult to ask her to check her emails, whether she forwarded this to you or not.
that's correct.
Yes. I'm more interested in the content of this email. This is brought to your office for your attention on the 7th of August, 2019. Firstly, he says, my name is Aris Danikas. I was approached back in 2011 by the South African authorities to assist them with an ongoing criminal investigation of a police unit called K2 as well as General Boysen. I was visited 3 times by members of the police and the NPA between 2012 and 2016 in Greece. By then, I was forced to return to Europe after living in South Africa for nearly 20 years. The reason for my sudden and secret departure from South Africa is disclosed in my official statement issued via an MLA request in 2017. That is what he brought to your attention in the first place, correct?
That's what in the email.
Yes. At this point, I would like to strongly protest of the matter I was handled as a state witness for the prosecution. Not only was my safety compromised repeatedly by not receiving any kind of protection as promised by many officials, such as Advocate Dawood Mayema, as well as General Mabula, but furthermore, my human rights were violated when the NPA submitted my unauthorized draft notes as a commission statement to the court in support of their charges of racketeering against the accused. Now, you've repeatedly mentioned that unsigned statement, but do you see that he actually owns them as his draft notes?
I see that.
Yes. Then, in the next paragraph, he says, later on, the NPA did receive a statement by me, only to use it as an excuse to justify previous reinstated charges of racketeering. Although there was hardly any feedback of the progress of the case to me, I had to eventually find out via the media that the case was dropped recently. Remember that yesterday I asked you whether there was any attempt to contact some of the witnesses that were crucial on your part when you dropped the case. You said that you didn't, correct?
That is correct.
And here is a witness that is expressly complaining to your office, at least, about not being consulted when the case was dropped, correct?
That is correct.
Yes. Then you say, in the meantime, then he says, in the meantime, I received last week a hate letter from Boysen himself with fabricated and unproven allegations against my character attached. Is that correct? That's what he says?
That's what he says, yes.
Now let's just look at those attachments. Go to page 518. So according to Colonel Danikas, Mr. Johan Boysen wrote to him in a WhatsApp on the 26th of July, 2019. And that is a copy of a WhatsApp sent to Colonel Danikas. You would not know about that, would you?
I haven't seen this. It's the first time I'm seeing any of this.
Well, these were submitted as part of our evidence last week already.
I know. I haven't had time to go through all of your information.
But in addition to that, it was attached in 2019 already to your office.
I said that was so.
Yes. Now, he says, General Boysen says to Mr. Danikas, and at this point, we must remember, Major General Boysen is an accused in a murder case. He's also an accused in a poker infringement. He is texting a witness and says the following: "Hi, Malaka Draft Dodger. You are making a fool of yourself. Why don't you come and testify in South Africa? You are a coward." Let's just stop there. Now, Major General Boyson knows full well why Mr. Danikas fled the country. It is because he was scared of a possibility of murder by the K2 minor unit. Is that correct?
I have no idea. You should ask that of Major General Boyson.
Well, I am putting it to you. It was public and common knowledge. It
I
was
have
even
no
part
idea.
of the statement. You don't know?
I don't know about that.
Yes. Now, what I'm interested in is the statement, why don't you come and testify in South Africa? You are a coward. That strikes me as a direct intimidation of a witness, which would be a crime. Would you accept that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
No, I don't know. I really don't know whether it would amount to intimidation.
The words, where a witness has fled the country because he is afraid of you, you say to them, come and testify, you are a coward. Don't you regard that to be intimidation?
I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the whole context before we decide it is.
So you are not
I
prepared
beg
to.
your pardon. What context do you have in mind?
Chairperson, if there must be, the matter must be investigated and we must get all the evidence before we can make a decision. I can't, on the basis of one statement, say that this is intimidation, Chairperson.
So,
You may proceed, Counsel.
so you are not prepared to say an accused person who makes a contact with a witness in their case, knowing full well that that witness has fled the country because they are scared of them. An accused person saying, come to South Africa to testify, you are a coward. You're not prepared to admit that that would amount to intimidation.
I'm not sure. I'll have to look at all the facts, as I said.
Yes, I'm not asking you that question. I'm saying you are not prepared to admit that that would amount to intimidation, yes or no?
I can't admit that without all the facts.
And then when he says you are making a fool of yourself, are you prepared to admit that he is insulting the witness?
Yes?
Yes. And when he says you are a coward, what does that tell you?
I think we should ask General Boyson these questions.
I'm asking you as the NDPP head who is responsible for exercising prosecutorial authority on all our behalf in this country. When you say something like this, an accused person makes a contact with a witness.
You should not be contacting a witness. That's correct.
Yes, but I don't understand then why we went through all of this. If you know that this contact is itself illegal, why we've had to go through this?
I wasn't asked whether he should be contacting the witness. I agree, he should not be contacting a witness.
Yes. But not only does he contact the witness, he is threatening them and intimidating them, which is something you're not prepared to admit.
I can't admit that.
Now, there is a second WhatsApp message, which is at page 519. Where Major General Boyson sends another WhatsApp to Mr. Danikas. And he says, you tried your luck with my juvenile daughter when we were in France. And then he says, I told you then.
Sorry, Counsel. Is this not a continuation of that WhatsApp? Because this was
Yes,
26
sorry.
July.
No, sorry, Madam Chair.
36,
Yeah.
and there appears to be,
Yeah.
it could be a continuation.
No, it is. Actually, to show that it is a continuation, look at the time on your left at
Yes.
518.
Yes.
Thank you for the correction, Madam Chair. So that same message continues at 519. And it says, you tried your luck with my juvenile daughter when we were in France. And then look at the words that come thereafter. I told you then that I will F you up. Now, are you prepared to accept that if an accused person tells a witness that I will F you up, that would be a case of intimidation?
Yes, I agree.
Yes. Now, If you then go further down, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the statement that starts with, "It is a pity." Can you see that?
I see that.
Now, he again says to the witness, "It is a pity you did a bad job when you cut your wrists, when your girlfriend dumped you." Now, cutting your wrists is associated with suicide, correct?
That's correct.
When he says, "It is a pity you did a bad job," what he is telling the witness is that you should have killed yourself.
I agree.
Yes. Now, again, you have a witness. You have a witness being told by an accused that he should have killed himself. That seems to be an extreme case of witness intimidation and witness tampering.
It appears to be so. I agree.
Yes. Now, that is done by the person of very, very high office. He's a major general in the police and held the provincial commander of serious and violent crime in KwaZulu-Natal. He must know that what he is doing is illegal, correct?
He should know that.
Yes. But moreover, it is brought to the attention of the NPA. We see absolutely no action being taken against Major General Boysen for witness tampering, witness intimidation, witness threatening, witness insulting. Correct?
I've not seen this letter, and it's correct. It appears that there was no action taken. I mean, this email.
Yes. Can you explain what would be the motive, if you can speculate, if you don't want to fine? Why would it be in the interest of Major General Boysen to tamper with a witness?
I think you should ask him that.
Yes. Indeed, I am told that you intend calling him, or the NPA intends calling him as a witness.
I don't know. The evidence leader decides on who to call.
Yes, but I thought you repeatedly told us that there were witnesses that were coming, which you did not name. Is he one of them?
I think the evidence leader will confirm whether he is or not. I don't know.
No, to your knowledge, you said you don't know.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's his decision.
Well, did you consult with him before these hearings?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
Do you remember that we were given by the evidence leading team a document signaling the list of names of witnesses they intend to call quite early
Oh,
during the hearing? And Major General Boysen was on that list.
okay. So I assume then he will be called, Chairperson.
I beg your pardon?
I assume then he will be called.
I'm asking you a question. Do you remember, if you do, that we were given a list, a witness list, quite early during this inquiry, where the evidence leading team gave us a list of names of witnesses they said they intended to call, and Major General Boysen was on that list?
I don't recall, Chairperson, if I've seen that, but I do recall some conversation about sharing list of witnesses.
That's better. Thank you.
Just a follow-up. Did you participate in the exercise of assisting the evidence leaders to identify witnesses that will be called?
We had some excuse me. We had some conversations around witnesses that can be considered, but always making it clear, and the evidence leader himself making clear that he will decide who to call.
Is General Boysen one of the witnesses that were proposed to be considered by the evidence leaders?
His name must have come up as one of the potential witnesses, I'm sure.
From the NPA?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, Advocate Batohi, we are still on this topic where an accused contacts a witness, which you say is illegal. Not only do they contact the witness, they threaten to F them up. And then they tell them that they should have killed themselves. That witness comes to the NPA, particularly to your office through Ms. Makeke, and reports it. And no steps are taken against Major General Boyson, who is a very senior figure in the police. Now, that conduct on the part of the NPA, is that normal? Is that acceptable?
It's not acceptable that this matter was not brought to my attention or dealt with.
Well, now you have changed your version that this matter was not brought to your attention. Initially, you said you were not sure if it was brought to your attention or not.
Well, when I read the WhatsApp, I don't recall at all seeing something like this. And then I realized it couldn't have been brought to my attention because I've definitely not seen a WhatsApp like this.
Yes.
We are in a fact-finding process. And it is open to this inquiry to make sure that all relevant information for this purpose should be gathered and be brought to our attention. Now that you mentioned that Ms. Makeke is still an employee of the NPA, shouldn't she be brought here? Either at the instance of the evidence leading team. If not, it may be at our instance. Would you like to make an investigation as the head of the NPA to ascertain from her about this communication?
Yes, Chairperson, I will do
Before
that.
we even consider whether she should come and testify or not.
I will check with her, Chairperson.
And when do we know that you would have spoken to her?
By Monday.
Yes. Yes.
Evidence leader, we should know by Monday. I'm speaking through you, senior counsel. By Monday, we should know about the position of Ms. Makeke and whether this communication happened. If not, you'll consider your position,
Indeed, Madam Chair.
acknowledging your role before us. This is not a criminal case, this is an inquiry. And when a matter is brought to our attention that seems to be necessary to consider, you will consider your position. And if you don't, it may be necessary for us to employ you to call that witness.
It's taken,
We'll
Madam
leave
Chair.
it there with the view that we will know on Monday what the position is, because Advocate Batohi makes it clear that she does not remember if this email communication that was directed to her was actually brought to her attention. You may proceed, Counsel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Advocate Batohi, can you go to page 520? Now, that is a response from the acting Deputy National Director of Public Prosecutions. It looks like it's Advocate S. Mzinyati, although it has been PP signed on his behalf. Who is Advocate S. Mzinyati?
He would have been acting Deputy National Director at the time.
Does he work in your office?
Yes, he does. He's a Deputy National Director in charge of the National Prosecution Service. Well, he was acting at the time, and he is acting at the moment as well.
Please, counsel, take me back to where you were. I
Page
lost
520 of the same bundle,
520.
volume 2.
Thank you.
Yes. So, do you know how this communication from Mr. Danikas, which was not addressed to him, but was addressed to you, ended up on his desk?
It seems like it was forwarded to him. He is a deputy national director and he is the head of the National Prosecution Service. So this would have been one of the matters. The NPS deals with representations, that is their portfolio. So it looks like he responded to that letter, that email.
Yes. It's clear that it came to his attention,
That's correct.
but the question is whether it came to his attention from you or from someone else.
I didn't send it to him.
Yes, and you did not ask him to attend to it because it's correspondence to the NDPP.
He has delegated authority to deal with matters, representations.
Yes.
The Deputy National Director of NPS has delegated authority to deal with representations.
Yes. Well, representations is one thing. A report of a crime, witness tampering, is not representations. Now, the witness was reporting a crime to you, witness tampering, which we've gone through. That would not be representations. That is why I ask you whether it is not you who asked Advocate Mzinyati to address the crime that was being reported to you.
I really can't recall sending this to him. I can't recall having received this email or sending it to him.
Now, when you actually look at the content of what he says, he acknowledges the receipt of the communication. It says dated 8 August, but when you actually look at 515, it's 7th of August. But maybe very little turns on that. But then he says it has been forwarded to the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions of KwaZulu-Natal for her further attention. Was the Acting Director also at that stage Miss Elaine Harrison?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. Can you explain what the logic of sending a reported crime to the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions could possibly be?
I can only imagine that, given that this matter was a KZN matter, he forwarded it to the DPP to deal with it as appropriate in KZN.
Well, we know for a fact that in the case of Major General Boysen, it was not a KZN matter, it was an NDPP matter because of the provisions of Section 2 of POCA. So can you then answer my question? Why would the NDPP's office send a crime that has been reported to it in relation to a matter within its exclusive jurisdiction to the DPP's office of KZN?
I can only imagine and repeat what I said, and that is why Advocate Mzinyati saw fit to send it to the DPP KZN,
Yes, but
given that it was a KZN matter.
But we know, Advocate Batohi, that racketeering is not a KZN matter. It is an NDPP matter. And that is why this answer you've given simply misses the point. There is a witness in a racketeering case who has been intimidated and threatened by an accused. He reports that crime to you via Ms. Makeke. No one does anything, it's forwarded to KZN. Why is that so?
I can only give you the answer that I did. That was what Advocate Mzinyati thought ought to be done in the circumstances.
Then the letter goes further. It says, You are requested to direct any further correspondence regarding this matter to the aforesaid acting director. The contact persons at the said office are Ms. Ashika Sechuran and Notando Mbisi, and their contact details are as follows. It seems that your office is washing its hands over this reported crime. Correct?
I think Advocate Mzanyati did what he thought was appropriate and forwarded to the DPP for appropriate action.
Well, I'm putting the question again, that your office washed its hands of the crime that was reported by a witness allegedly committed by Major General Boyson in relation to a matter that was exclusively within the NDPP's office.
I can't agree with that because Advocate Mzanyati forwarded it to the DPP KZN for further action.
Yes, but the office, your office itself, the NDPP's office, took no action in the matter. Hence, my proposition that they washed their hands over a matter where they had exclusive jurisdiction.
That's not correct. The action that he took was to forward it to the KZN DPP.
And you endorse that action.
Well, it should have been brought to my attention given the high-profile nature of this matter.
You're not answering. You endorse the action of not dealing with the matter at the NDPP level.
As I said, given the high-profile nature of this matter, it should have been brought to my attention, but Advocate Mzanyati thought it best to forward it to the DPP KZN.
So you don't endorse that action.
I endorse it to the extent that he thought it was appropriate.
Yes, but that is what I'm putting to you. Was it appropriate or not?
Well, I've answered that. I said he ought to have brought it to my attention as well.
So it was inappropriate not to bring it to the attention of the NDPP's office.
Perhaps an oversight on his part.
Sorry?
Perhaps an oversight on his part.
This is what I don't understand. You were talking yesterday about justice for the victims. Here is a witness who says, I am reporting to you, I'm a whistleblower. I'm reporting to you that the person I am blowing the whistle against is intimidating me. There is no response to that at all.
Justice for victims is extremely important and one of our strategic initiatives in the NPA. It takes a high priority in terms of our work. Victims are our customers that we serve. In this case, as I said, it appears to have been, given the high-profile nature of this matter, Advocate Mzanyati ought to have forwarded this to me as well as send it to the KZN DPP. Why he didn't, I'm not sure, but he, as I said, he thought this was appropriate action to send it to the DPP in KZN to deal with the matter in the province.
Then the province itself responds to Mr. Danikas at page 521.
The province.
The Director of Public Prosecutions in KwaZulu-Natal. Apologize. And this is what they say. The office of the DPP KZN is not conducting any investigation into the Ketumano unit, correct?
Yes, I see that.
This office is only reviewing individual dockets to determine whether any person is responsible for the death of the deceased in each docket. If you have any evidence of crimes committed, you are advised to liaise with the South African Police Service, who will no doubt investigate the same. There are several issues that arise here. The first one is that the crime that was reported against Major General Boyson has again not been responded to here. Correct?
What the office is saying is that he should report it to the police station who will investigate the matter.
I'm not understanding that. This is a witness who has consulted extensively with the members of the NPA. It is in the middle of, well, it's already been withdrawn, but he is protesting against the withdrawal. And he says to you, as the NPA, I'm being intimidated. Here is the evidence. The NPA says goes to a police station. Is that how the NPA reacts to cases of witness intimidation?
Well, it depends on the circumstances. And I mean, the first step is to report the matter to the police so that they investigate it. And then a docket's open and that, we can make a decision in the matter. This was a high profile matter, no doubt. And could have been dealt with differently in the circumstances.
So the conduct of the DPP in KwaZulu-Natal in also washing their hands of the matter by saying that a witness intimidated like this must go to the police station, was that appropriate or not?
I think it is in instances where there's a complaint of any crime. The first step is to go to the police station, as I said. So I can't say it's inappropriate. But as I said, given the high profile nature of this matter, perhaps it could have been dealt with differently.
Yes. Now, as matters stand, that issue of the conduct of Major General Boyson in intimidating a witness, threatening to F them up, has never been inquired into by the NPA. Correct?
That's correct.
Yes. Now, let's go back then to some additional points that are made by Colonel Danikas. If you go back to page 515. I'm told his actual title was Inspector Danikas. Now, in the last paragraph of page 515, Inspector Danikas says, I would like to point out that I have witnessed specific crimes being committed by members of the Cato Minor Unit and General Boyson himself, dated up to 2008. I have provided a detailed statement and supporting evidence of such crimes committed by the accused. Now, this is not a case anymore of a witness consulting with the police. He is telling you directly, at least according to him, because he's writing to you, that I am here, I'm a witness, I've seen Major General Boyson committing crimes. I've also got supporting evidence. And that is brought at least to the attention of Advocate Mzinyati. And that, again, is not addressed. Do you have any comment?
I don't have any comment, but clearly he's referring to a witness statement that he had made previously with regard to the racketeering matter.
Yes. Yes, but there is something more, Advocate Batohi. He is saying, in case there were any doubts, here I am. I'm a witness, I'm available, I would assist the NPA. In that context, no action is taken because we know for sure that this did come to the attention of Advocate Mzinyati.
It's difficult for me to comment on this because this was in the context of the racketeering matter.
Yes.
And he had not signed his statement in that matter. And I'm not sure why, the matter was dealt with in this way. But I really can't comment on this.
Well,
beyond that.
Yes, well, he is telling you that he has provided a detailed statement.
That's correct.
And we know that to be correct because if you go to page uh, 497 to 514. Is a statement written in Greek and with a stamp of the 12th of October 2018, the same bundle, 497 to
Is that-
514.
497.
Yes, 497 to 514. And then the official English translation of that statement is at 480 right up to 496. All of them with stamps and sworn by official translators. There they are. And we got this from Inspector Danikas himself, who was also shocked at listening to your evidence.
Beg your pardon. Will this 482 official translation be the same or similar to what we find at 454?
Yes, there are, Madam Chair, there are, yes, so that was the first one. The substance of it is the same. In other words, the narration of the events, but it's not word to word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
In fact, there are three, now that you're on that question. So there's 454 up until 457. And then there is another slightly improved version, 458 up until 472. And then the signed version, the Greek version that is signed is 497 to 514. The sworn translation is 480 to 496. I mean, and that Greek version is dated 12 October 2018. And the sworn English translation, also same date, 12 October 2018. So the point I'm putting to you, Advocate Batohi, by that time, 2019, you could be under no illusion. There was a signed statement from Inspector Danikas.
I haven't seen this statement. I
Yes.
know there was a Greek statement that was signed. I'm aware of that. But I have not seen, this is the first time I'm seeing a translation that's dated 12 October 2018.
Well, I understood this to be part and parcel of the file. I mean, part of the problem, of course, is that you never really read anything.
That's not a problem. There was a team that was put together to look at the files in detail.
Well, I mean, it enables you, every time a question is put to you, to simply say you're saying it for the first time.
This is not even referred to in the, my recollection, I need to check, is that it's not referred to in the report either of de Kock.
That is actually a lie. It is referred to in the report of the Koch. What they claim incorrectly is that Mr. Danika's signature was superimposed. But the English version is referred to in the de Kock report, which actually places a further question as to whether you even read the de Kock report, if you say this statement is not referred to there.
I did read it, and I am also aware that there was evidence of Mr. Danika's statement being superimposed on one of the documents. So whether it's this document that we have before us that is being referred to in the statement, or it's another, whether it's another translation this is an official translation,
Yes.
and whether it's this one or whether there's another translation that they're referring to, I think that needs to be clarified.
Now, Advocate Batohi, please. You just gave evidence that the challenge you have is that the English official translation is not referred to in the DCOG report. I told you that that is false. It is referred to in that report. You are now changing and coming with a different version.
May I comment on that? I'm not coming to a different version. I'm not changing at all, because the English official version, this one that we have now at 480, I am not sure that they are referring to this. My recollection is that there's mention of a statement, a translation that is not the official translation. And there was evidence of his signature, Danika's signature, being superimposed onto one of the translations. It cannot be this official one because it appears to be official, but there is evidence that that was done with a translation. And my recollection is that is what is being referred to in the de Kock report. That is my recollection.
All right, let's do this. Maybe it will be simpler, because it's very
Just
difficult.
look at the report, it will be helpful.
To keep up. Go to SB 3-172.
SB3, that's my affidavit. Is it this one? It's my affidavit, it says affidavit. No, not the legal opinion. This is the legal opinion. It says affidavit on the side. Oh, it's here. Yeah, sorry. This is legal opinion.
SB,
SB3, the relevant page is 172.
170.
Yes. So if you look at SB3 172 at paragraph 118, this is what is stated in that paragraph. Danikas' statement in Greek was only signed on 26 October 2016, months after the NDPP signed the authorization on 13 February 2016. But this is the crucial part. The English translation was made available to the prosecution on 12 October 2018. If you then go back to volume 2, you look at page 496. At the bottom of that page of the English official translation, you see the date 20 October 2018. File 2, yes, 496. And there is a stamp at the bottom, 12 October 2018, which resonates directly with the recollection of the authors of the de Kock report. Advocate Batohi, I am not going to press this anymore. I think we've explored what we could on the statement, unless you have any point you want to add.
Well, I'm just not clear because, as you see, in 119, it is, there is evidence of, a signature being superimposed on an English version.
Yes.
So again, I can't say anything more. I am confused about this. I need to look into it so that I can understand better what exactly happened here.
Yes, I thought that we were leaving it on the basis that you are confused about it. That's why I said I'm leaving this topic unless you want to comment. And
No, I'll have to look into this.
yes. All right. Can we then?
But what does that mean? Does it mean that this aspect and many others that you said you want to look at them need to be revisited?
Chairperson, it might mean that I need to look into this and understand what exactly was before the panel when they considered this matter.
Would you like us to pause for 5 minutes so that you can look at that?
No, Chairperson, I think I can deal with it once we adjourn, and then we can deal with it on Monday, in the interest of time.
How long would you require to look at this aspect? You need such a long time?
Yes, Chairperson, I need to check the report. I need to speak to the panel, Advocate Riley, who's in Cape Town, and just get an understanding of what exactly was they had before them at the time. It might take more than 5 minutes.
And remember, this is not the only instance where you testified that you need to look at things. You might remember, if you don't, your team or the evidence leading team will assist you with regard to those instances that we have been noting here, where you testified, you need to look at the evidence, the records, the documents. They will then have to reflect on their notes or even on the transcription, because we get a transcript every morning. That transcript will be available certainly by Monday morning. But before that, the team, Advocate Mutlamunyane and Advocate Skosana, will have to facilitate that.
Madam Chair.
And, I beg your pardon, and assist us. Because a lot of evidence is left hanging, where Advocate Batohi says, I would like to look at that. I would like to re-look at that. And we cannot proceed without affording her an opportunity to do exactly that. So please make a note. We have made note of those aspects, but it is your role as well to assist us as we search for the correct facts. That should assist you, Advocate Batohi. We will also defer this aspect, and the evidence leading team will remind you of those instances where you'd like to reflect.
Noted, Chairperson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Look, the only issue, Advocate Batohi, we ended up getting sidetracked, was to simply say that your statement
Madam
that
Chair, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted, and it looks like Mutlamunyane maybe did not understand. I just wanted to clear up when
I thought you'll say Advocate Mutlamunyane.
oh,
Yes.
Mutlamunyane S yes. So sorry, Madam Chair. I just wanted, we are more than willing to assist in the respect that the Madam Chair has indicated. I just wanted to clear up the issue of us discussing with Advocate Batohi while she is under cross-examination. We might experience difficulties with that because it's with regard to issues that she is being cross-examined about. So just that to seek clarity in that regard.
Any objection, Advocate Batohi?
Madam Chair, no, we will not accept that Advocate Batohi should consult on these matters at all. I know that she says she wants to consult Mr. Riley. We, again, will not accept that. She can only do it with our consent. I thought what she wanted was to read up on her notes, which would be acceptable, but we will not accept that she's entitled to consult with people during the cross-examination. I'm sorry.
Yes, Advocate Skosana, I thought my statement was very clear. A follow-up on Advocate Batohi's answer, not one, not twice, where she said she needs to look into the matters. And I was saying to her, it seems to me that there are many aspects that are left hanging. And I asked her whether she would like us to revert back to those issues. And she said she will need time. What I requested you to do is to find those aspects of her testimony where she kept on saying, I would like to look into this, so that you can actually look into those aspects. I did not think that we are talking about you consulting with anybody. All of you are taking notes as we do. You should be in a position, SC, to reflect on that evidence. And please remember, all of you have a duty to assist this panel, to bring to this panel's attention all matters, either for or against. It is your responsibility as evidence leaders. So I implore you, with due respect, to assist and look into those aspects of her testimony where she said she would like time to reflect so that she can properly reflect on those matters. You are a team of 3, excluding your adopted child next to you, to go through the transcript and assist Advocate Batohi and us. We do have notes, but I will not page back and look at all those instances. I suppose that is clear.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I think I understand, and I have taken note of some of those, maybe not all of them, but I have noted the instances where she says she'd like to look at the matter and so on. The only difficulty is that how do we tell her, like the Madam Chair has said, if we say this aspect on page so and so, this is the page number, or this is what you can look at. How do we actually relate that to her when there's an objection?
Skosana, you are complicating a very simple matter. If you pull out those instances, you can even remember it is when you are asked this question and then convey that to her through Advocate Halley or Junior, if you cannot talk to her. But what is important, or even the lady next to her, because we seek to assist. And once you have identified those aspects according to your notes, SC, you can even bring it to the attention of the junior counsel behind you to communicate those pages or those aspects, because the idea is to assist the witness to capture those instances so that she can reflect upon them and answer on Monday. I don't want us to leave things hanging here, and then when you go to the transcript to write the report, we find that we have failed in our duty to afford her an opportunity to address those matters.
But we'll do our best, Madam Chair.
Sister would like to make a suggestion.
Yeah, maybe, thank you, Chair. Maybe to make things easy, because the question of which items are still outstanding, it's something public. All of us here have been making notes. And to obviate the potential of questions around how you communicate, the alternative would be to draw the list, the document that states as to which matters she has to revert to. That reminds her, she also knows, but just as a reminder in case 1 or 2 of those things have slipped up, and send that to the Secretariat so that the Secretariat can send that to everyone, rather than her having contact with you, evidence leaders, or even the NPA.
Well, Senior Counsel, you know exactly what you are supposed to do. I need not guide you on such a basic thing. I think we should proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair.